everybody. Welcome back to Let's Talk Movies. I'm Brad.
And I'm Miguel, guys.
And damn, we're late on getting to this. This episode premiered last Sunday. I apologize. We're late getting on this trail here. We wanted to drop this a little sooner, but we both had some scheduling things that came up. We couldn't get together, but we're here now. So how you doing, buddy?
Doing all right, man. I saw The Walking Dead on Sunday, and I'm not gonna lie, because I don't have cable, it was kind of hard for me to try to find a way to watch it. It was literally like 8:52, and I was like, I gotta find a place to watch this for free. But I ended up just like buying subscription for AMC.
Did you subscribe to it that night?
I really did.
Oh, I thought you already had AMC.
No, not at all. You were telling me.
I thought you already had it.
We were texting and everything, and you were like, "Are you gonna get on?" And I was like, pulled my credit card out, and I was like, yeah, now I am. That's pretty much how it is. But then I realized AMC was offering like watch one free episode, and since AMC basically like uploads the newest episode before it airs,
yeah,
I totally could have watched that and saved like some money. But
that's the one kind of crappy thing about AMC Plus is they upload the episodes like a week before they air, and then the whole thing is spoiled on like Reddit and on YouTube and stuff like before it even airs, like on live TV. So that's the one crappy thing. But so guys, long story short, we've always been huge Walking Dead fans. I remember watching Days Gone By, the pilot as it aired in 2010. Did you watch it from the beginning? I know you took a break there for a little while.
So basically what I did was I didn't watch it from the pilot. I started at like around season 2 when they meet Maggie at the house. Yeah. Around then is whenever I started. And then, I just traveled all the way through the bullshit that they went through. And I ended my watch, unfortunately, like it was like, I want to say a couple episodes after, it was like the end of the Savior versus Alexandria. So I completely missed the Whisperer War, but I still kept up to date with it, so I kind of knew what was going on.
Yeah. So you finished like the All-Out War storyline, basically.
Yeah, I did, and I liked that season a lot. It was probably one of my favorite seasons, next to the what was it? The Governor. Yeah. So like, if I were to rank the season finale, it would be like All Out War, the Governor, and then the Whisperer. Unfortunately, Whisperers is like third in my top list right now.
Yeah, that finale was okay. Like we were just talking a little bit before we started recording it. I think COVID had a lot to do with, they probably could have done more if it wasn't for COVID. But so I mean, yeah, we've been Walking Dead fans. I have a couple of Walking Dead posters here, which is out of camera view, obviously, but
no, guys, I'm not kidding. Like, I went over to his man cave, and I don't know if you can see it in the video, but
you can.
Literally, like somewhere in his room, there is literally a shit ton of action figures filled with Walking Dead stuff.
It's the season 3 action figures. It's the set from when they did season 3, still in the packaging. It's Rick, Carl, Andrea, the Governor, and it's got a couple of walkers thrown in there. It's like 6 of them.
Exactly. But this man, I swear, this man was a Walking Dead fanatic.
Yeah. Well,
and
do you remember the trading cards?
No.
So it was they only did it for like the first 2 or 3 seasons. But my dad and I bought all the trading cards. So we have the whole first season, we have the whole second season, some of the third season, but there's some cool shit in there. Like there's like they cut up Dale's shirt to put in the cards, and like I have a piece of Dale's shirt. I have a piece of the camo like army jacket that remember when Rick climbs in the tank at the end of Days Gone By?
Yeah.
And the walker's in there. I have a piece of his shirt, like just like cool shit like that. But we both have Lucille bats too, which is pretty dope.
Oh yeah, that is true. Wait, hold on. Like right there, it's still in the package. I wanted to remove it. I want to take it out, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen? It'll cost some money at the end, but we'll find out. Just
have
saying,
you seen where people have gotten stopped at TSA because they have Lucille bats?
Are you serious? That's dumb as fuck. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know why you would try to get on an airplane with it. Like, I mean, come on.
Exactly. Like, unless you're like trying to go to Comic-Con Like you might as well just check that into like fucking whatever it's called. But I don't know why you put that on as a carry-on. That's a pretty bad idea. That's PSA all over your ass in like a hot minute.
Absolutely.
But this is plastic, okay? It's not Brad's, it's handmade. Like it's a legitimate like Louisville Slugger bat with a shit ton of barbed wires.
Well,
this is Hasbro.
Yeah, okay. Here's the story. Is that the Trick or Treat Studios one that you have? Or is it Hasbro? Or is it something? I don't know. Does Hasbro even have a bat?
I don't know. It's AMC exclusive, I guess.
Okay, I don't know.
It's a Take It Like a Champ edition.
Yeah, that might be something different.
It might be expensive in the future.
Maybe. No. Well, here's the deal with mine before we hop into this, because I know you're not here to talk about our collectible shit. But at Christmas 2 or 3 years ago, maybe, my dad, my brother, and my cousin, my dad, huge baseball junkie, had a bunch of baseball bats in his shed. And my brother stained it. My dad went and got like old barbed wire from a fence out in I don't even know, but they wrapped it and stained it. It's real. I mean, it's like legit. I have it in a baseball bat case, which it kind of freaks me out, but I think it's cool as hell at the same time. But
I mean, all it means is that you're going to be really fair for if we have a Walking Dead podcast.
I mean, if somebody breaks into my house.
Yeah, exactly. Mine's going to break within the first swing if I need to do it. So, I mean, that's why I carry that thing on me.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. When I went to open it, they had it in a big cardboard box. I went to open it, and I reached my hand in there, and I was like, ow! I was like, what the hell is that? They put it in, like, barbed wire side up. Like, not handle side. So, like, you'd think you'd pull it out with the handle. It was in, like, the barbed wire side facing up. I was like, what?
I think you just like position it the wrong way. I'm pretty sure.
Probably. I probably just had it turned around.
Like, literally, Peter, your dad, your brother, and your cousin are probably like watching you unwrap it. They're like, "Oh God, this is great! This is great!" Oh wait, what is he doing? What is he doing? He's opening it the wrong way. Oh shit! Yeah. And you end up cutting your hand.
It like I said, it freaks me out, but it's by far one of the coolest Christmas presents I've ever gotten.
It's one of your cool memorabilia too. I'm not gonna lie.
It is. It's pretty cool. I want to get a light for inside of the box, like the bat case. Dope. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's hop in here. We wanted to do this bonus episode series where we're talking about these 6 episodes that are dropping as part of the extended 10th season of The Walking Dead, obviously leading up to the final season, which is also extended. Real bittersweet that the whole series is ending, which I know we'll have Fear the Walking Dead and the second season of World Beyond and the movies, but it's just, you can't beat the OG.
That's true. And also, how many seasons has this been?
It'll end with 11.
11. Jesus Christ, man.
Over a decade.
I mean, Grey's Anatomy's got them beaten seasons, but
in regards
of like just like all the shows I've seen, like most of them end at like around 8, 9, or 7. This one is still going, and I think it's gonna end at 12, right?
Mm-hmm. It's like the X-Files. The X-Files ended at 11.
Yeah, exactly. Some of these are like long standing, so
yeah. But we're gonna just kind of do a quick rundown of everything we happened, and we're gonna talk about it because that's what we do.
True.
So, first thing that caught me when I was watching it was Lydia's whole introduction. That was kind of our chance to catch up with a lot of these characters that we haven't gotten to see since the finale, when everything was, we were in a certain doom territory and the Whisperers were closing in, and we had the awesome fight scene at the end with Beta, which I still wish was longer. I wish we could have gotten Daryl and Negan against Beta for like 5 minutes instead of like 20 seconds, but that's besides the point. But like Lydia says that they're in a bigger world with endless possibilities, and I think that kind of sets up these next 6 episodes, and that from what I understand and from what I kind of get, especially from watching 1017, is that it's going to be like these 6 episodes are going to be more like intimate than they would normally do. I think it's going to be more character driven and less like where they're going.
Bro, I swear that is some The Walking Dead does. It literally anchors this fucking show on. I swear to God, it's like if you have a season of The Walking Dead, it's literally like half is character development and the rest is just killing people off in action. It's absolutely hilarious. And every time I see someone whenever it's like the character development side of the season, and I start seeing characters that I like, and they end up being kind of like, the moral compass, I'm almost like, yep, check that person off the list. She gonna die. He gonna die like within the next season. So just give it up.
Yeah. And that's kind of funny because that's like a typical zombie trope. Like if you have a person who's really good in a zombie movie, like a genuinely good person who's trying to do the right thing, they're gonna die. Like it's just the point. Like that's pretty just much the way it works. Mm-hmm. I mean, look at Dale. Poor Dale.
Straight up. Everybody's over here being savage as hell, and he's like, "Guys, let's just be civilized."
I know.
And then gets his stomach eaten.
Yeah.
Am I thinking of the right person? Yeah.
Yeah, you're thinking of Dale.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Do you remember that? He didn't even get his stomach eaten. It was like it just like ripped him. It was the gooey.
Yeah. If I was in a zombie apocalypse, I would want to get eaten. I'm just saying. I wouldn't want to get tore apart. That's terrible. Like, just pop me, man. I'm just sorry. Which is exactly what Rick did.
I'd rather just get shot. I don't want to be eaten. But the other thing I wanted to bring up real quick about the beginning of the episode, and what struck me, is that it is instant tension between Negan and Maggie, which I think is going to be a driving story arc in these 6 episodes, especially because you got to think. I know Negan. Think about from Maggie's perspective. He killed one of their best friends. He killed her husband. He basically tortured them for however many months it was when, they were out trying to get supplies for them.
Yeah.
And I mean, Negan did some terrible stuff. And now she comes back and Negan's just like kind of one of them. He's, he was tapping that truck and he was like, y'all be safe. Like he's acting like the good guy. So, I mean, I get it from her perspective. Like, you come back and you're like, why the hell is this guy just walking around? But, Negan's perspective, I thought it was funny. He looked at her and he was like, oh, shit. Like, he knew. He just knew. But
yeah, like, he literally, like, I guess he kind of repaired, like, some, like, hard feelings with other people. But then as he soon Maggie, he knew, he was like, yo, I bashed his husband's brains in.
Yeah.
So, and also, I remember I don't know if you have the opportunity to see it, but, like, on the AMC Plus, it added like commentary from like one of the producers or screenwriters or directors of the show.
Yeah, I didn't see
that. She talked about how they were going to set up that first initial meeting. And initially, like, they were supposed to have like they were supposed to talk to each other. But
oh, really?
Yeah, they really were supposed to like exchange words. But they decided to go with her initial reaction because her initial reaction it had so much like resentment and anger towards this man, and like it was just perfect. It was like, we don't need words. We don't need words. Like, just let her walk off.
Well, and he doesn't even try to ease into it. Like, one of the first things he says to her is, he's like, I didn't escape, if that's what you're thinking. Like, like, he tries to tell her up front, like, I didn't just escape from the jail cell and here I am. Like, they let me out. Like, they're letting me like live outside of the cell. And exactly. I think she walked away because, I mean, she, like, again, as somebody who, like, he killed your spouse, and the way that he killed your spouse, it's like, what do you do with that? You know what I mean? So I think she was just kind of like, I can't talk to you right now, and just like left. You know what I mean? But
exactly. Which is so hilarious. Which is so interesting because, like,
it really is.
They are so far into the apocalypse that it, like, civilized manners are done. Like, it's absolutely either you're a straight savage or not. Like, I would expect Maggie just like draw that bow and just absolutely like,
I know,
the job, but she didn't. She just walked off.
Well, I'm kind of shocked that she didn't. When I first saw them like lock eyes and I saw it was her and Negan standing there, I was, because even Judith was even like, oh crap, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
I know what you mean.
I wondered if she was gonna go for him, like, you know, like, what are you doing out here, like freaking out? But she didn't. I think she knew. I think when she walked up and saw him pat the car and the people in the car said bye to him and he was like, you all be safe, I think she was like, oh, like, oh, okay.
Exactly.
He really wasn't. He didn't escape. He's helping them. Like, he's a part of this now. Yep. So I think that is going to be a driving force for this season. Especially for, obviously we know the last episode is called Here's Negan, and his backstory. I want to see more Negan this season. I really do. And I want to see more of him and Maggie interacting.
Exactly. So spoiler alert, if you guys haven't seen it, Maggie ends up going back to Alexandria, and Negan's there, doing his civic duty, I guess.
The ending. Well, I liked how they she looked at him and she just kept walking. I think that was her way of showing him, you didn't break me.
Yeah.
You did everything you could to try to put me down and break me, and you didn't. And I'm here, and his child is here. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, I kind of wanted to ask you about this. Do you think Negan looked pissed? Or do you think he looked remorseful?
Again, this was from the commentary from the AMC Plus. She talked about how the reason why Negan looked that distraught is because Maggie's back, and she is universally liked by everyone at the time. When Rick left, I mean, it was Maggie kind of leading the charge. Yeah. So Maggie's already liked by everyone universally. So when they see that she's back, they're gonna welcome her back with open arms. And Negan has just done. He's tried so hard to reconcile all the things he's done wrong. Yeah. But he's scared that the fact that now that Maggie's back and she still has all of this resentment towards him, that she's going to be able to convince everyone in Alexandria to basically turn on Negan after all that he's done to reconcile himself. So he's legitimately scared, because when he saw Maggie walk in, he was like, oh shit, all the things I've done is out the window. I'm still this psychotic manipulator that fucked this town over and basically blew it up.
I didn't even think about it that way, but I get it. You know what I mean? He's smoothed it over enough to where he's helping them, and he's living like the other people do. Mm-hmm. And then he's probably thinking, well, crap, now she's back, and everybody's going to see me for what happened before. They're not going to see me for saving everybody from the Whisperers and for, being what he is now. So that's interesting. It looked like a weird combination of he was disgusted, but he also was I know, he knows what he did was wrong too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but overall, he is shit-faced scared, because he knows that all the work he's done is probably out the window. And Maggie, I think the tension between Maggie and Negan is going to be the top of the the main theme of the next 6 episodes.
And it's one of the things I'm most excited for.
Yeah, you know what I can almost theorize what's going to happen is that Negan's going to help Maggie take down whoever the fuck this new
Reapers?
Yeah, the Reapers.
What the hell was that?
Yeah, I don't know what this is. You remember who was it that Daryl and Rick just fucked up? A couple before they got to Alexandria. Rick and Daryl were chasing after someone who kidnapped Jesus Christ.
Bob?
Who's Rick's son?
Carl.
Yeah, they kidnapped Carl and they chased after this motorcycle group. You don't remember that? Rick bit his neck off.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I understand.
Marauders.
Yes.
The Marauders, yeah. Okay. So
I'm sorry, I was completely drawn a blank. I was like, who the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, so the Marauders in the comics, they were pretty prominent, or I guess that's the name, or some form of the Marauders were pretty prominent in the comics for a while. Right. Yeah, but they only lasted 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah.
So I'm almost certain that the Reapers are just gonna be a 2 to 3 episode group that Negan's just gonna have to fuck up. And I think that's whenever he gets Lucille back.
Maybe. Well, and there's obviously some history there, because obviously we don't. That was another one of my big questions. Was I want to know more about Maggie's group. I want to know, she was such an important character, and then she was just gone. I want to know more about where she was. Where was she? What was she doing? And I know we got a couple of answers. Her group was helping other groups learn how to survive, and they were teaching them how to use weapons and blah blah blah. But I just want to know more, because there's obviously, she knew who the Reapers were. There's history there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's enough history that they were attacking them. And homeboy that blew himself up.
He acted like a straight up predator. Like,
he really did.
Predator. Like,
well, that's what I said. I had even texted you during the episode, and I said, "Are Daryl and Maggie fighting a predator right now? Like, what is this?" Exactly. It was very weird.
And also, it's interesting because that was like they mentioned in the commentary episode, they were saying like, "Yo, like this was like the best we could do, COVID related, for an action sequence."
I thought it was a great action sequence.
Yeah, exactly. Because they started out with like the sniper battle where like they're trying to hide from them.
Yeah.
And like that, because that was the best they can do, because they could be spread apart. Mm-hmm. And then when it came to the actual fight scene between Daryl and Maggie and fucking Predator, like it was like semi like distant. Could you tell?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. And I'm kind of glad we're talking about this, because I thought it was really creative to have the sniper thing happen. You know what I mean? Because we've seen. I'll tell you what. Something about season 10 that I was kind of like whatever about is they didn't really use guns a whole lot. It was more about knives and bow and arrows and quiet things. And I get that was also part of the whole Whisper ordeal. They were trying to be quiet. They didn't want to make noise. Mm-hmm. But when I saw somebody shooting at them, I was like, holy crap, a gun. Like somebody's actually using a gun still. Like there's still ammo left over.
Yeah,
you know, however many years into the apocalypse. But I thought it was really creative, because that's a scary thought, being out in the woods. You don't know where the shooter is and you're trying to run. But that action sequence looked great, and that was something I wanted to bring up. Did you think this episode looked different? I mean, like the cinematography, the color grading, the camera angles, the shots they were going for. I thought it looked really, really good and kind of different from in the past, like what they've done in the past.
I think so. And that's also, I mean, it's also because like you can definitely tell this season is going to be a season that was affected by COVID. You can like, you can definitely tell. Like I'm pretty sure in the next 5 episodes, you could see where they had to do this because of COVID.
Right.
And that's fine. I mean, obviously they did a great job, because that scene with the sniper and the predator, like
I thought it was a really creative thing. I mean, even set COVID aside, I thought it was creative because it was different. Mm-hmm. And I think if anything, I mean, I know COVID sucks balls, but I mean, if anything good comes out of it, I think they can tell a more an intimate story, like we were talking about, where they can focus more on like individual character development instead of having to push the story forward plus do character development plus talk about your villains. I mean, it's just like they can focus more on the little things. And that's what I got out of this episode. That's what I enjoyed the most. It was a little bit more intimate. You know, it's not a herd of 60 walkers coming towards you or a group of people with guns pointed at you. It was the one guy with a sniper rifle out in the woods who you couldn't see. And that was almost scarier than if there were 60 walkers.
It was suspenseful, pretty much.
Yeah, it was suspenseful. And I kind of hope that they don't stick to the same formula.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think that's the thing that I liked most about this episode, with Maggie and Negan. And then it felt like a different formula. It didn't feel like the same old episode of The Walking Dead. You know what I mean? Which was cool.
And hopefully whenever the next couple of episodes come out, like I hope they end up doing more like stories about Negan, because like honestly, like I know Rick's gone, but I'm low key like obviously Negan took his place in regards of like the amount of people that are interested in, you know what I mean? Because Daryl's
fan interest. Fan base.
Without a doubt.
Daryl and Negan are in terms of fan base, Daryl and Negan are like the two main characters at this point.
Pretty much. And also like I don't know, like Daryl has grown tremendously since his first appearance in the first season. Like
it's kind of funny watching the first season because they all look like fetuses, and Daryl's like, "You left my brother up on that roof." You know what I mean? It's just it's come such a long way, and I think that's why if they're gonna do anything, if they're gonna make this last season impactful, I feel like they have to talk about Rick. They have to bring Michonne back. Even if they don't actually bring Andrew Lincoln back to the show for this and they wait until the movies, I as a fan, I don't know that I'm going to feel satisfied until Daryl and Rick and Maggie and Michonne and Judith and all of those same characters like reunite with each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't happen, if the final episode of The Walking Dead ends on a cliffhanger, and that cliffhanger leads into the movies they're going to make, and then the characters from The Walking Dead, guest star in the films, I'd be happy with that. But I feel like if they're going to really conclude the story, they need to bring it back full circle and bring the characters that started from the beginning together again. You know what I mean?
Yes, I agree. And I think that's probably what the movies are going to do, because the movies are basically going to be circling around Rick too, right?
Yeah. It's so about Rick.
I think it's going to lead up to because, I'm almost certain he went to the community.
The community. The Commonwealth?
The Commonwealth, yeah.
Yeah, I've thought that too. Did you see the teaser that they put out where they moved the date up? Because remember, I believe it was supposed to come out in the fall. I may be wrong on that, but they've moved it up now. This season is supposed to start this summer. The final season is supposed to start this summer. And I don't know if they're going to break it up. I mean, I'm sure they're going to do their typical hiatus thing. But with it being extended, are we going to get 2 hiatuses? Are they going to go summer to winter?
I always hated those.
Spring to fall, or spring to summer, and then fall and end it. I mean, it won't end. If they do it that way, it won't end until 2023. Which is fine. I'm not complaining about it lasting longer. Like, that's fine, because it's nostalgic for me, and I'm ready to, I want there to be more of it. But I hope they bring it back full circle. And that I enjoyed the callbacks too. Like, even when Daryl and Maggie were sitting in the what's it called? The cargo.
The cargo box
thing. The box, the big metal box. I don't know what else to call it. When they were sitting in the box and they were talking about Herschel, like her dad Herschel, not her son, and they were talking about Beth, and they were talking about characters from the past. I thought that was really cool. I was like, good, because I felt like last season, I liked last season, and I understand they were under threats and stuff, but I just felt like it was its own separate thing. It didn't feel like it was. That season felt like a spinoff from the original show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know you didn't see that season in its entirety, but it felt like they really swerved, and I hope they're coming back a little bit and they're getting back in the lane. Because even though we're in a different point in time and we're however many years ahead of, Atlanta and ahead of Alexandria and All Out War and all of those things, bringing back, mentioning those characters that have died is what's going to bring it full circle.
For sure.
So,
and also, I know Alexandria kind of it got fucked up, and I know they're going to do a whole lot of rebuilding, but golly, I don't think it's going to end at Alexandria. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I think we may even see it in these 6 episodes leading up to the last season. I think Alexandria is going to fall, and they're going to get put out on the road again, and them getting put. One of 2 things is going to happen. Alexandria is going to fall, or they're going to find out that Rick is alive, and they're going to leave to go find Rick. Because even if you look at, have you seen anything about the next episode?
No.
It's called Find Me. In the next episode, The Walking Dead issued a spoiler warning, which usually The Walking Dead doesn't issue spoiler warnings before shows. I mean, usually that show is leaked all over the place before it airs.
Yeah.
And it's called Find Me, and it's about Daryl. It's set 6 years prior to the episode we just watched. So it's like just after Rick disappeared. And it's about Daryl searching for Rick, out in the woods, where I believe he's going to find the dog. He's going to meet some other woman out in the woods. And from what I understand, it's supposed to be a very emotional episode with some pretty crazy spoiler stuff. So
we'll be excited to see it.
I know. I'm excited. I kind of thought it was weird because they were talking about all these other characters and they didn't bring up Rick, and I was like, how do you not bring up Rick? You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna, they need to bring up all those other characters, but at the same time, like, Rick is like the main character. You know what I mean? It's just weird when they go like long periods of time without mentioning him, because I'm like, did y'all forget? Like,
exactly. It's like his death didn't really. It's like his death didn't really affect, or like his disappearance. I guess his disappearance didn't really affect many people.
Yeah, and I'm glad this. It made me happy that this next episode is going to be all about Daryl trying to find Rick and that emotion, because I mean, if you remember that scene when Rick blew the bridge and they thought he died, even though we know he really survived. I mean, Daryl was distraught. It's rare we've seen him cry, but he was like sobbing during that scene. I mean, so I think it's obvious that like Daryl has some very obvious trauma, and there's some real deep emotions with Rick being gone, you know? And I'm excited that they're going to explore that in the next episode.
Yeah, that's usually like Walking Dead fashion. Because like the first opening of the season will always be like, what's going on now? And then like a couple of episodes will always be like, oh, well, what happened in the past?
Yeah.
And I'm always down for those. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, they always put stuff like, oh, well, this happened in the past, and this is why this is going to connect to this. So I'm like, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Other than Negan and Maggie kind of coming back when her and Herschel are walking into Alexandria at the end, can we talk about Baby Glenn? Is he literally not like a mini Glenn?
Pretty much. You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of the Chinese boy in like Indiana Jones. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that's what he reminds me of. And that's cool. I mean, I wish, I mean, not really, but I wish that we could have had more episodes to explore him growing up. Yeah. I mean, obviously he's gonna meet Negan at some point.
Yes.
And I'm curious to see how that works out.
I didn't think about that. Because Maggie even had her little dialogue with Daryl where she was like, you know, Herschel asked how his daddy died, and she told him a bad man killed him and stuff like that. Ooh. What if, I just had an idea. So what if, and again, guys, we don't know spoilers. We have no sources. We don't have people spoiling it for us. Like, I don't want spoilers. So this is pure speculation. What if Negan saves Herschel and they become buddies, and then Herschel has to find out that Negan was the one who killed his dad?
Yeah, I could see that happening.
As you just said, oof.
I could see them becoming buddies, and Maggie's just fucking furious. She's like,
yeah,
you don't even know the truth. Yeah, so that'd be interesting.
Well, it's kind of like Negan and Carl, and Negan with Judith. You know, he's friendly with kids because he was a teacher. You know, he's got a soft spot for kids. So I'm excited, but yeah. So guys, that's gonna do it for us, I think, for this bonus episode. We will be back next week to talk about Find Me, which is the second episode of these 6 bonus episodes from season 10C. So hope everything is good in your world. Episode number 12 of our show will premiere on Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we're talking Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2, which is going to be a pretty fun episode.
For sure, yeah.
Say so myself. We both have some pretty strong feelings about that.
Yeah. Movie. Quick tip. Like I already saw Rob Zombie's Halloween 1, and I gotta say I had some strong opinions about it. So I'm excited to see Halloween 2. Yeah. I'm gonna have even more to say.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. And then Monday, or not Monday. I mean, I'm a dumbass. And then on Monday the episode drops. Wednesday we are gonna drop our commentary for the first one, and then on Friday we are going to drop our commentary for Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. So we hope everything is good in your world, and as always, we will talk to you soon, people. Bye.
Peace.